Yo, what's up, folks? It's time to do a new playthrough of Stardeus version 0.15. So it's still in the experimental branch at the moment of recording this video, but it's practically ready for public release. I'm just holding it back basically for marketing reasons, because, well, I cannot really talk about it, but in a nutshell, it's ready to play right now, and I recommend everyone, especially if you're a new player or if you're starting a new run, switch to experimental branch and play this, because this is almost a year's worth of extra development on what you have in version 0.14 right now in the default branch. So I'm going to start a new game, and I'm going to try to go through it, reach the end. It will take a while, and I'm going to also play test at the same time, report myself some bugs, maybe do some game balance changes depending on what the playthrough will feel like. So I'm going to go to story mode, and if I press quick start, I would just jump into the game right away, but I don't like this because it will set the difficulty to relaxed, and it will only choose one of 5 preset seeds, which are pre-validated and give you a nicer start, I would say, right? So we're gonna go for custom start, and we will pick everything very carefully. So the ship name will be Death Trap, and we're gonna randomize the design a little until we find a ship that we like. I want something maybe like this. It looks like USS Enterprise a little bit. All right, balanced difficulty, balanced story generator. I'm a wussy, so I'm gonna do save load anytime. I'm gonna not go through the custom rules, but you can change a lot of things here. I'm just gonna keep it as it is. Then let's enable colony jobs, so we're gonna see who can do what and how the whole colony works. We can see that nobody knows how to do research, right? So we have to re-roll someone until we get research. Oh, this one is a game developer. Okay, let's just go through. No cleaning. Vegan. I don't want to deal with food. So I'm just not going to pick the vegan this time. Farmer, marine biologist, pacifist. Oh no, we don't take pacifist here. Technophile, short sleeper, spaceport valet for two stages of their life. Huh. They're good at piloting. Yeah, we're gonna take Jewel here. And Nugget. So since we have a Jewel, let's pick a guy next. Someone who will keep her company. Adam Hudson Stallman. Does he sit on stalls all day? Little shit. Okay, web developer. Fast, I like that. Doesn't seem that he's incapable of anything, so we're gonna pick him. Yeah. Okay. Stringer Dino Cries. Schema. Handshake. These names are awful. Okay. Xor is a good name. Fast, I like that. Collecting Rust in Childhood. And then Love's Expedition. Right, we're gonna pick this one. Doodle Iron. No cleaning. Nah, let's pick arms dealer. Likes shooting but doesn't like melee. So this will be our bot with the gun. Yeah, let's pick this one. And macro. No demolition. Actually, for the grounded robot, demolition isn't that important, so maybe we should have picked that one. Clumsy. No clumsy robots in here. Drug dealer and Mechanic. This one is great. This one is great. We're gonna pick this one. Athena. Okay. For the pet, we can go with a shy pig. Now, this is just like my cat, so I'm gonna be more, you know, attached to it. So maybe let's, but this is whatever. Let's rename this to Tuna, which is the name of my cat. Also, check this out. See how these dialogues work right now? You can just move the mouse away and it just disappears. I like it. All right, so we are ready to go forward with our colony. I like the ship. I like the ship name. I like the crew. Now we have the starting location. Also, we can change a bunch of things right now. We can change the default difficulty to make things like harder for us or easier, but I'm going to keep it at default level. Then size. Yeah, we can make it bigger, but I think it's enough because we have already like 1,000 plus sectors. So I'm not sure I'm going to be able to visit them all. But yeah, also when we hover, we can see some resources. So here, for example, we have crude oil in the starting region, which is very rare. I'm going to maybe pick this one. It's a good start. Yeah, let's go with this one. Embark. All right, so I'm not going to read any of the stories here. We're just going to skip them. I don't want to spoil it. And this is something new right now. This is the tutorials that pop up, video tutorials that pop up at the right moment. So when you start playing as a new player, the first thing you need to learn about is the operations manual. And then it shows you how to get there and what to do. So you click here on the ship computer icon, then click the codex, and you have the operations manual. So I'm going to mark this as learned, and I can try to do this myself now. Codex, here's the operations manual, right? So, but I don't need it, obviously. We're going to start playing. So let's pause and assess the situation. New quest is available. Let's start with that. Provide a charge station. Yeah, this is the beginner quest. Chain. We can skip those. Since this is a tutorial quest, it can be abandoned. But I'm going to just go through because I don't know how to play. I mean, I know how the game works, but I don't know what to do. All right, so let's see what we have. We have our survivors right here. It's a little bit of a mess. But I think if we look around, no, we don't get the storage in this start, but we would get the storage if we had lower difficulty. Yeah, so we'll have to build the storage ourselves to pack everything. And the one thing I want to look at in the beginning of each run usually is the oxygen temperature overlays. So you can immediately see here there's a leak. The wall is damaged. I'm going to click R, shortcut to order repairs for this one. And also there is some problems with doors because this door is not connected. So whenever a bot will go through, it will jam this door open and then it will remain open and it will leak oxygen. So what I like to do in this case, as I do the provide charge station quest, I will also connect that door. So let's go do what they say. Build a connector. Actually, you don't need to go through here. You can just click on the thing here and you're going to get this build. The build button. You can click that and you're going to be in the build mode. But I like just building it from this menu here. So yeah, we'll need a charge station. We'll also need a matter reactor. Let's see. So I'm going to connect. Oh, and we have the first useful tutorial, connecting devices. So it shows you how to use the connect tool, and yeah, it's very simple. And then it shows you how to disconnect, which is basically doing the same thing in reverse. So we're going to mark it as learned, and I'm going to connect this. We can see here that the next thing is to build the matter reactor, but we can rush ahead and connect the charge station, and it just completes the quest. Although we haven't learned how to configure the matter reactor, but well, I think it might teach us. It should teach us, no? Anyways, the door. So yeah, I'm not going to wait for the tutorial. There's a tutorial here. But we're going to be using scrap metal. And scrap metal is something new in this update. Previously it was just steel plate. So now, for example, when you deconstruct floors, you're not just getting steel plate, you're getting roughly half of the materials as scrap metal. And it kind of depends on the skill of the bot who's working. So someone with higher demolition skill will be able to retrieve more useful steel plates rather than scrap metal. But scrap metal can be turned into steel plates by putting it in a furnace. So it's not a big deal. Right here, for example, we have some scrap metal. And if I double click it, and I can lock this thing, and you can see recycled by disposing. No, but it doesn't say what it can be turned into. If we select the steel plate, then we can see recycled, produced in furnace from scrap metal or from iron. So yeah, you can use either scrap metal or iron to produce steel plates. So steel plates are useful for construction. Okay, we're going to clean things up a little bit. I don't want these half-broken sections here. So we're going to just deconstruct them. And there are some new things when it comes to deconstruction and construction. It's very cool, but I'm going to show you this in time. So when you deconstruct a larger section, it will be done in a way that it will not create islands unnecessarily. So for example, right here, we're going to be deconstructing... Wait, no. It didn't work. Why? Oh well. If it's a larger section, it would work, I guess. So, anyways, yeah, so what's the next thing we need to do? We don't have any quest. But the next quest will just appear in a little bit because it's not rushing too much, so it gives the player a little bit of time to do things on their own. All right, so what do we want to do next, actually? Yeah, what do we want to do next? Do some housekeeping here, right? Maybe repair some damage. Repair the shuttle. There's a bed right here. Let's relocate this bed. So the second colonist here will have a place to stay and sleep. Because there's one colonist without a bed. They should be very disappointed. Next, we might want to build a storage unit. A small one, right here. So all this garbage could be collected and it wouldn't just lie on the ground. Also, I'm going to also relocate this planter right next to the one that already is in the survivor zone. And here's my little kitty. How are you, kitty? All right, bored, but happy to be alive. Here we go. The new quest is available. And now the sanity mechanics has been reworked significantly. If you go to stats and you go to health, I think, no, mental. In the mental stats, we have a few things here. We have sanity baseline and sanity target. So baseline is how much sanity will regularly be available for this being. And target is how much sanity do we want to have right now, given our ongoing effects. And then the actual sanity value, which affects current mental health, is following the target. Yep, that's how it works. All right, new quest available. Let's go see what we have here. Connect to survivor area. Of course we have to do that. So the survivor area is here. We need to optionally build a chain of connectors. And here's the tutorial, because we need to build a chain of connectors. So naturally we need to know how to do it. And it just shows you like how things that are not connected look like. You can also enlarge the video. And then you can see that we have to build a chain, which means we can drag and release to build the connector in the middle here and then connect through the chain. So yeah, I'm going to mark this as learned. Also, I like this sit a little bit lower here. All the windows, most of the windows can be moved around. Also, there's this thing with the issues that need attention. And it can be detached like that if you press the log button. So whenever we hover the mouse, it pauses the game. But this is because otherwise this can rebuild underneath your cursor and then it would not be very pleasant. That's why it works like this. Okay, so let's first configure the mini planter. We're going to select wheat. Then we're going to relocate the space suit from the unsafe area towards the survivor zone, and also do the same thing for the helmet. Now I want to remember this location because we're jumping to it frequently, so I'm going to press Control and 1, and that written the camera memory. So now whenever I press 1 on the numpad, it jumps to this location. And then we can also maybe do Control 5 for the whole ship. So I can now press 1, 5, and jump like this. All right, let's finish up our connection. So yeah, we cannot reach this socket. We'll have to build a connector. And as the tutorial showed us, we're just going to click and drag. And then we're going to pick a place for the new connector, release on the floor, and build it. Right. Oh. Unreachable location. So when this happens, what usually it means that we need copper wire right here. And these guys are trying to get the copper wire. But if we search for, I just hit tab, copper wire, it's somewhere in an unreachable location. Well, there's probably more copper wire, but it's not reachable for these people who cannot fly or cannot go outside without the spacesuit. So you can just ignore this, but it sometimes tells a story. So what can we do to fix this? Like, for example, the operator here who can fly, or XOR, who's relocating this, should be able to do the job. So we are going to wait for him to drop that thing, and instead of doing the second relocation task, we're going to just right-click. XOR is selected. We right-click this and reassign whole materials. So now XOR will get us this thing. What else? Incapable? Who was trying that? Yeah, we can assign construct. Oh no, wait. Is it a safe location? If we select a being and hold control, see what's happening here. So this is too cold. It's because we have, yeah, of course. So we have this big room and we want to build a connector in a cold spot. There's probably oxygen here. Oxygen is actually easier transferred than heat. For the reason, because heat leaks through the walls and floors into the open space, but oxygen does not leak from the fully enclosed environment, right? So that's why maintaining heat is always a little bit more difficult than oxygen. But we can just go and build a mini heater somewhere here. Actually, I'm going to build one more right there. So that will allow us to have like more place for these guys to walk around. And operator will finish the connector. There we go. Now, oh, this is already connected. Yeah, that's how it works. If you click and drag a connector and build it on the floor, after building it, it will automatically connect to the connector that was dragged from, right? So here we go. We have completed another quest. We have unified our grid. We can actually look at this, and now we can see our grids. And we can see here there was a bump because we have another matter reactor right here. So everything got bigger. Our production capacity grew, and we have just one grid. There used to be two here, but I haven't showed it. And there's this like a mini widget. You can just hover it to get the overview. And also you can just see here things like deficits. If you see red, there's deficit, so you can like track it at real time. Our storage units are full. Let's build a new one. So I'm just going to select this, press Q to build a copy, and build. I think we're going to build one right here near the door. Now we're going to add some heating and some lighting right there. All right. I think we could just repurpose this little area for colonists to live in, but first we need to repair the damage. 2 new quests available. Connect the stasis array. Yeah, I completely forgot about the stasis array. And also establish research. So yeah, let's just go with the stasis first because it's more important. Since if we neglect the stasis, its stability goes down. So you can see here stability is poor and it's falling. There's a red arrow down. It's not connected to electricity grid, so we have to connect it. And also people will be waking up, and as they wake up, they'll have to go and find safety. So we'll need to maybe, well, there will be quests for that, so let's not rush ahead. Let's just connect the stasis array. Luckily, we just have this connector ready to do it. And here we go. Quest completed. Now we have another quest. Establish research. Wait, hold on. Why does this still say it's disconnected? Maybe I double-clicked? No. Hold on. No connection to the ship computer? What are you talking about? Oh, there we go. There was some kind of bug here. Let me quickly... okay, I'm gonna report the bug. All right. I'll look into this later. So, what's next? Establish research. We need to build a Detoid loader. Also, we have the pressurized stasis array. You know what? We're just gonna finish the stasis array and then we'll deal with the research. So, enclose, make accessible, pressurize. Enclosing is easy, but we're gonna look at the tutorial, which shows up at the right time. And yeah, we go to overlays, we look at the rooms, right? We look at the rooms. And then we build floors around. Well, anyway, I'm not going to just force you to look at this. I know how to do that. So we'll just mark this as learned and do what needs to be done. So first repair the damage. And then I select the piece of wall, hit Q. And then I build. Yeah, we cannot build on the damaged floors. So let's wait for these to get repaired first. And I'm going to also deconstruct this part. And then we'll probably maybe winch this. Do we have winch unlocked? Winch. Research. It's unlocked, yeah, so we can build winch right from the start. The research tree is actually quite bigger now. Look at the security, for example. There's plenty of new weapons, like nail gun, stun baton, machete, sniper rifle, SMG. Maybe I'm not going to spoil everything for you. Right. Oh, you know what? While I'm at it, let's grab the solar panels, because they're free energy, and we're now wasting resources by burning them with the matter reactor. I need another copy of the energy connector. Right, so now to find other solar panels, I can just select this one, zoom out, and then there's select similar. Click, and here we go. We have all of them here. So we're going to relocate this one. Ah, no, they're all selected. So we're relocating them all at once. Just click this one. Relocate. There was one here. Relocate. One here. That's it. Just to double check. If we select similar, yeah, all of them are being relocated. So that's going to work. All right, now. Let me build a bunch of floors. Yeah, we're not going to use winch. We're just going to build a pathway like that. So let's not deconstruct that and instead repair it. Now you'll see... Oh, wait. This robot is blocked because he cannot go anywhere. Look, he's just stuck in this little area. So we will make some pathway for him. Let's just... Yeah, let's build some floors. Maybe let's copy the floor right there and do this so he can walk around. And let's bump the priority on this bit because this will then allow the robot to do the rest. Now this is probably the robot trying the tasks, yeah? Because he's trying these. You can select the worker and see. Also, I think these guys could be trying. But yeah, when you see flashing lights, flashing icons like that, it's usually because the grounded bot is unable to do some work, or maybe the people without space helmets and spacesuits. All right, so then I forgot this thing. The spacesuits are forbidden after relocation, so we have to maybe pick who's going to wear them and force. So let me just do this. Equip space helmet and equip spacesuit. So you're going to be the one who's doing it. And then survival meals, yeah. Do we have rot mechanics already? Not yet. Or maybe we'll never have them because they're not really fun. So, pressurized stasis. Let me first wait for this. And you can see how they're building the floors now. They're not building them randomly. They're building them like one piece at a time from the edge. So the algorithm is made so that it will not create unnecessary islands. So this is very important when you're flying and your ship has to be in one piece. Previously, it would be built like randomly. The floors could be built randomly. Now they're built in sequence. Yeah, so our robot can now go anywhere he likes. And we're ready to do some walls right there, because we want to connect the two areas. Let's repair more damage around here. Actually, maybe we want to repair all the damage. Like that. Because damaged items can cause problems. Damaged floors can collapse, for example. Yeah, we're going to increase our grid output a little bit with all the solar panels. And I think we could maybe grab this particle collector and relocate it into a safer spot. So if we have some sort of like space danger, we would not lose it. And I want to collect something. So let's see, how much water do we have? Water is a very critical resource, so it's up here along with food and also fuel. So these are the main three resources, and then you can have this, and there's the new inventory, which looks pretty nice. Yeah. So I'm going to collect, let's see, something cheap. Maybe let's do carbon because it's cheap and we will need it later for things like whatever. Something. All right, so pressurize. Yeah, to pressurize. Now, I could just build another wall here, but I don't want to have a narrow pathway. So what I'll do, I'm going to actually expand this to have this wider, because then the temperature exchange is easier. And the oxygen exchange is also easier. Now, if you want to select the floor, there's a way, because normally if you click on the floor, nothing happens. Oh, but you can click twice, yeah. So if you double click, it selects the floor, but you can also hold Control and click. All right, so now we have this. We're going to build a little wall here, a little wall here. Now we want a door somewhere, because otherwise the bots will not be able to go through. So let's build a door and this wall here. All right, then we will want to let's see our quest. We still haven't unclosed, and we'll have to make it accessible and pressurize. Well, let's just wait for the right step of the quest. Maybe look at this one. New hygiene facilities. We can actually do this quest while we're waiting for stasis area, because this is very easy and pretty useful, because without toilets and showers, their sanity is going to be going down, because they have this no shower, used planter as a toilet. We're just going to build them some facilities. Shower and a toilet. Oh no. It's not going to block the light if we build it above there. That's fine. Okay, what else can we build actually? Repair station. We should definitely have one. Or maybe even two if there's combat or whatever. One more storage unit would be fine, because I can see this one is already full. So maybe let's just build two of them here. What else? Crafting station. We'll have quests for these, so let's not rush. We have quests for datoids and datoid loader and these things for research. Let's not rush. Yeah, heater and oxygen pump. But again, I don't want to rush ahead. I want to first enclose the walls here. So maybe let's increase the task priority on these. Jewel got hit by wave of inspiration, so the shower is gonna be superb quality. Immaculate quality. Alright, Xor is hauling resources, but nobody's building this thing. Xor is incapable of building that. So the problem when we have too many tasks is that even if you bump up the priority a little bit, sometimes it's just like not gonna happen immediately because there's lots of other work and some workers are working on something else at the time. And maybe it includes a lot of like travel. So yeah, you have to take care of logistics and stuff. But later in the game, I'm gonna show you real quick, there's this thing called nanobots. It's unlocking in tier 3, so pretty early actually. And when you have that, these nanobots can actually do hauling and construction for you. So this is like full automation. And you just have to deploy those nanobot hives and have enough nanobots, which are kind of expensive-ish, but they have been made cheaper so they can do more work without you running out of the fuel, which is the little nanobot cells that you have to build and reload. Yes, it's pretty awesome. I hope we're going to reach that stage of the game. And we're getting close to pressurization here. There we go. Quest completed. Let me connect the repair stations. I'm going to build another charge station as well because charge can actually go down pretty quickly here. And we have a nice event happening, Comet Shower. Mesmerizing comet shower unfolds in the distance. Colonists are eager to watch it. So this will give colonists a little bit of a mental health boost. Also, why do these dead bodies hang around? I'm just going to remove them so they will not cause any unnecessary bad moments like this one. Saw a dead body -10, so we're just like driving them insane with these dead bodies lying just right in the middle of the pathway. Aha, we have plant fiber and grain. We have nowhere to store it. If we look at this and do compatible storage, we can build a refrigerator right away, so let's do that. Also, I think that if we look at plant fiber, grain, pantry should also be buildable, so let's build a pantry. And the next quest, I'm gonna go with stasis first. Let's just finish all the stasis stuff. Let's make the area survivable. Mini heater is already connected, but this is actually a little bit of a bug because I have built mini heaters up front and these are in the wrong area. Yeah, I'm gonna mark this as learned. So let's build some mini oxygen pumps. I think 2 would be plenty, and for the mini heater, which is considered built, I'm going to still build a few. So there will be some atmosphere right here. Also, I think we need lights. Now I could build another light in here, but I'm just going to increase the range of this one, maybe that one as well. So when you increase range, it eats a little bit more energy, but it actually shines brighter, so that's a trade-off. All right. I don't think we need this part at all, so let's just disassemble it. Also want to connect to this thing here, but maybe we should just winch it. Yeah, let's winch it. Let's go build a winch hook right there and the winch anchor, and let's actually measure. Maybe we could look at the planning overlay, see how the original ship looked like. Now in the plan mode, we could move the plan and align it with what we have, right? So this, yeah, this is where it should be. You can also change the mirror point to the ship computer. Now we see how much should we move this up or down. So if we, say, draw a bunch of helping rectangles here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? So we need to build this 5 tiles below, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right here. So if we build the anchor in this spot, it should basically go where it needs to be, at least according to my calculations. That are likely wrong, but we'll see. Oh, I need to build more energy connectors to connect these things and to create the atmosphere. Also, there's one more thing we can do before I connect. Let's actually disassemble this door and let's see what we can do instead of this door. So we cannot build airlocks yet because it's not unlocked in research, but what we can do is relocate the airlock. So we can select the airlock and relocate it onto this spot, and then we'll have an airlock right here so it wouldn't leak energy, oxygen and temperature. Alright, so now we have built oxygen pump and mini heaters. We're just going to wait for oxygen and heat to spread for the quest to complete. So we can actually switch to another quest because this will likely be completed automatically. So now let's go do establish research. It's very simple. But, oh wait, someone is already waking up. I wonder if they will survive. We have Charlie, Cog, or Frob. What's up with those names? Carnivore. We already have one little shit on board. Might as well have the second one. But this one is fast. And skilled. Yeah, but they're... Oh, no, wait. No crafting, no mining, no hauling. I'm gonna pick Frob. Frob looks the most competent of the bunch. Now, let's see if Frob will actually be able to survive the trip down to the living quarters. Oxygen is kinda iffy, but yeah, we just select... Yeah, cannot go because it's not safe. But what we can do, and what we should do, is just select our hauler, and then... No, wait, first select this guy, relocate here, and then select the hauler, right-click, and assign relocate. And then we're going to forcefully relocate Frob into safety, so she will survive instead of just hanging around. Yeah, and we also completed one more quest, which was given later, but we jumped ahead and built the repair stations. Alright, so Frob is here. She's puking, she has cryo sickness, and Yeah, while she has cryo sickness, she's not going to do any colony tasks, but she needs some place to heal, so we need to build her a bed. Let's do that. There, Frob is going to heal. Okay, what else can we do to make your life less miserable? Naked, nowhere to sleep. Okay, that's fixed. Bored. Everybody's bored. We have to do some fun stuff. Let's go look at entertainment. Where's entertainment? Here. I would love to get an arcade cabinet because it also makes people bond with each other. But for now we can just do a treadmill. So let's build a treadmill. It's going to be in facilities. No? Fun. Yeah. Although I wouldn't say that everybody would consider treadmill fun. But also if we build two of them side by side, this will be a social opportunity. So when someone is on a treadmill, someone else can go stand side by side and they can have a chat about workouts and whatnot. Oh, wow, that looks intense. That looks horrible. Someone should clean this up. All right. Here we go, 2 treadmills. Oh, another quest finished. Provide entertainment, which we had not even accepted yet, but it was already. Okay, establish research. Dispose of infected bodies. Actually, this one has a deadline. But yeah, it's a loose deadline. We will get it in time. This one is in progress. Establish research. Yeah, let's just do the research. Let's do the research. Computing. Build. This. Build a deployed loader near the ship computer and build a disk module. Although we should have one, I think, but I'm just gonna build it. It's not part of the quest, but we'll need it later. Oh, winch is done. Get more transistor. We're running low on transistor. Yes, we'll need a crafting station for that. I'll do that in a minute. The early game is still a little bit overwhelming. I tried to make it less overwhelming, but it's not that simple because there's like, especially in this scenario, there's lots of things to do. Yeah, so we built the winch hook and winch anchor, and then we can just connect them with the connect tool. Yeah, connect this, and we can use connect tool to reel in, so we don't have to do this through UI anymore, right? So we can still do like this, reel in, but you can just click and drag, and here, this is more immersive. Oh wait, what happened? Why is the particle collector in the way? Right, this is a bug. I'm gonna report this to myself. I think what should have happened here is that this section is bigger, so this section was actually pulled toward that section, so it should travel. And then we have this. I know why it's not working. We have to first deconstruct that bit here because this is a separate section, and yeah, this section is actually touching. You know what? We can just abandon it. Abandon that one, and then the remaining ones. No, I don't want to abandon because we'll get some resources if we just deconstruct it. But I think right now we should be able to reel in. Yeah, as I thought, the heavier part pulls the lighter part, and that's how we got there. So if we go to planning, we can readjust the plan to match our ship. It's not oh man, of course I screwed it up. Look at this. It's off by 1. Dumbass. What a dumbass, but whatever. It's on me. It was a calculated move, but I'm bad at math. And also we get some artifacts from this winch thingy. That's a little bit of a bug. All right. Why are they looking down? This is due to winching again. This is a winch related issue since the whole section was moved. All right, we can now plug the fridge and we can unforbid storing, and we can actually order hauling it along with these things on the floor, so there will be cleaner, everything will be cleaner. And okay, we cannot dispose, we need a nutrient extractor. This is the second quest. I'm going to just build it right now. And we will build it somewhere further away from everyone. And outdoors, because it can produce heat. I think maybe this is a good spot. Let's do it here. Also, we'll probably want to build a bridge right here so people can go to the shuttle for the expeditions when they're ready for it. So maybe let's just build like that. Yeah, we're gonna put a door here or an airlock. Actually, we're gonna relocate an airlock. Can we actually relocate and replace? We can't, so we have to first deconstruct the wall, which will break integrity here for a little while. But there's a choke point, so it's not gonna lose too much oxygen and stuff. I really dislike this thing, so I will now do a quick thing, save, and load, just to get rid of that thing. I'll have to fix that bug. There we go. All right. All right, let me... Oh, yeah, we need more electricity because we are kind of low. Our max production is almost touching the energy consumption, which means we need more power. And for this, I will build 2 more reactors. All right, the stasis array area is survivable. It doesn't count this little bit here, but should we build or should we wait? I'm gonna wait. Smelting. Yeah, we're rushing a little bit. Also, why is this connector not connected to the ship computer? What the hell? Hold up. This is a plain bug. Like, this is a plain bug. But how? Fixing incorrect connections count. I think I know what happened. When I connected this to the stasis array during the quest, and see, stasis array is also not connected to the ship computer. Something happened when the quest was finished. So something interrupted the connection, and I saw like we just gotta do one thing. Let's reconnect it here, disconnect it. Actually, what if I just quickly deconstruct this? And then connect the stasis array to another connector. So this one is kind of messed up. But yeah, I'll have to look into that bug, because this is very not cool, very, very not cool. For new players, it would be horribly bad to get a bug like this. Let's do this soon. Oh, we have the first raid. just connect everything. I guess that's enough. All right, where's the raid? Where's the raid at? Combat in progress. Where? Where? Incoming raiders. So they're already on the move. Integer is on the move. No weapon. We're gonna have to beat Integer. But until he reaches us, it's gonna be fine. Wait a minute. Where is our gun? Because operator here likes shooting, and there must be a gun somewhere. Also, I haven't connected everything correctly. There we go. Where's the gun? Operator has the gun. Great. So you know what we'll do? Yeah, we're gonna wait for the guy to get closer. We're gonna just look at the ship from further away, and when he goes in, then we're gonna take Xor and operator, and we will send them to neutralize the guy. Yeah, he's still pretty far. Why can't I rename? Okay, this should not be here. Remove rename button from enemies. Alright, so I think this is enough for the first episode. Yeah, this is enough for the first episode of this playthrough. I will get back soon to continue.